Welcome to TOC Tuesdays. With
Jenna, the muscle mommy.
And Brit Inez Rand. And Vannesa, that girl squats, and at trail.of.champions. Yay. So this is
It's finally here.
ready
for it.
Ready. So
It is.
let's talk lessons learned of 2024.
You want me to start this time?
Yeah,
you got a lot to say. We'll ping pong it. I'm gonna go with trust your gut. I feel like that's something that we always are told. We always know that we should do it, but every time we fight it, it bites us in the ass. Yep. And I'm done doing that. So if my gut tells me something, I'm just gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm. I feel it's like honoring yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like women, like we have like the ability to pick up on things.
Yes.
And like sometimes we try to deny ourselves because we're like, we want to learn or figure out this person a little bit more.
Oh, that's not really like that. Yeah. Make excuses, try to rationalize it.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is different. That's not really, you a little bit wrong today, girl.
Yeah.
No, she was right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like trying to see, like, I have a problem with always seeing the good in people.
Same.
And I'll like, and my empathy can get so far that like, I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're just having a bad day or da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. But like after a certain point, you start realizing people's patterns, and it's like your intuition picked up on that long before you.
Yeah, she tried to tell you like, no, they're just an asshole.
Yeah,
that's just what that is. Yeah,
and that's okay. You can be an asshole, but you got to be an asshole over there.
Over there, all the way over there. Yes.
In our last episode, we talked about the 4 agreements, and we talked about being impeccable with your word.
Yep.
Not taking things personal. Doing your best, and there's one more that I can't think of. Don't assume.
Don't jump to conclusions.
Yeah, don't assume.
Yeah.
And so we talked a lot about that exactly, of you lead with empathy, which has hurt you in the past, but also learning to like stand on your boundaries.
Yep.
Which I think is one of our biggest lessons learned, was also kind of ties in together that trusting your gut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I got another one. We go. Okay. Speak up for yourself. I feel like if you do not speak up for yourself, people, situations, whatever, can just kind of walk all over you if you let them.
Yeah.
Right. And I know I have been guilty of not always speaking as loudly as I should and being like, oh, well, maybe this will kind of change or get better. No. We're done with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Say it with your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that is something that I also learned to, I think that this is just something that has become more evident within the last year, is how powerful our women relationships are, our women friendships are, which is how I know I started doing that more because we're friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I would talk to you and say, no, that's not what's happening. And then you would do it back. So it was kind of like that accountability of, okay, if I'm not going to let Brit go through that, why am I going to let myself go through that? Yeah. And vice versa.
Be your own best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wouldn't want to see her going through something, it's like, well, I'm going to allow myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. I've had a lot of lessons this year.
Just rattle them off. I'm gonna adjust this camera over here, so I'll be right back. But you guys can.
One that comes to mind is don't let your loyalty betray yourself. Like your loyalty to others encroach on your own boundaries.
That's deep. Yeah.
Because, I have a problem with like sometimes my loyalty will run so deep that I end up becoming like a doormat because I want, to keep those bonds. So not being afraid to let go. And it doesn't have to be, I don't know, growing up, I used to feel like it had to be so like full of hate and angst versus like you're friends with people. But like when you separate from people, it doesn't have to be angry or ugly. It's just kind of like, this is no longer serving me, but not in a selfish way, in a way that's like, it's not gonna do good for me, where I'm not gonna be able to pour into others because of it.
Yeah. But it could also be selfish.
It could
And
be.
that's also fine.
It is fine.
It's always okay to
Yeah.
choose yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I think we're kind of told, oh, be selfless. You don't have to do that all the time. Not like with every decision in your life.
I always think it's ironic. It's like you're being selfish, and it's like, are you being selfish, or is it I'm just taking care of myself that's not serving you?
Right.
Like you're not benefiting from me choosing myself first.
Exactly.
But it's that fine line, right? Because you don't want to be like ugly about it, you
No,
know,
no.
like carry like the good energy and take care of people. But like I know that's something that I struggled with for a while. Is like I would be so scared to lose people that I would like tiptoe. And I realize that's a red flag. When you have to start tiptoeing around people,
Walking on eggshells.
is an unhealthy environment.
You gotta get out.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have like that's either you're not honoring yourself, your boundaries, like you talked about, or
Right.
something's going on there, I think.
It's okay to put yourself first, and which is what we talked about. But that could be anything. Maybe that just means saying no.
And no is a complete sentence, by the way.
Yeah. You don't have to give a reason.
Mhm.
You don't have to validate your own feelings.
Or make someone like convince someone as to why you made this decision and want them to agree with you. Like, oh yeah, like it's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another big thing, investing in yourself. Big lesson is it's important to invest in yourself, whether that's self-care or
Health.
Commitment to yourself. Like if you say you're gonna do the laundry, go do the damn laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Like little things like that.
Yeah, but it could also be bigger things like upgrading business, upgrading equipment, upgrading all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just level up because you also deserve it with a plan. If you
Stop
have a
playing
plan.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't be afraid because it's scary. I think a lot of people don't invest in themselves because in the back of their mind they're like, what if it doesn't work out? What if I spend this money and X doesn't happen? Right? But it's just like, but what if it does?
Yeah.
It never will if you don't.
You can operate in fear or faith.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But not both.
No.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. My pastor a while back was talking about how like he was called to serve and preach, and he kept going to his mentor like twice a week. And after like 6 months, like the pastor had a reoccurring like doubt, and he's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, if this is my calling. And eventually the mentor was like, you either trust God or you don't.
Mhm.
Like that's it. Like you need to pick one. And he said ever since then he was like, all right, I'm fully trusting the Lord, you know. And that can be, you know, that's just my faith. That's where, you know, my I wouldn't say religion. I would consider it more spiritual because I believe God is above religion. But you know, however that connects with you, whether that's spirituality or the universe, like you trust the universe, whatever that resonates with you, but it's like you either operate in fear or faith. And like you said, you cannot do both at the same time. You can be scared, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna
do it scared.
Do it scared.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows but you. And then at the end of the day, like that's when everything's all done and said, I always say like at the end of the night when you're quiet, like say you have like a predicament or a problem going on, just take some time at the end of the night, like total peace and quiet. Like you're gonna know that answer even if you don't want it to be the answer that you want. You know what I mean? That's something I've learned this year.
Yeah. That reminds me of like whenever we put up polls on Instagram of like, okay, pick one. And then you're like, they didn't pick the one that I
Yeah. Should I dye my hair?
Yeah.
And they're like, yes. And I'm like, damn it, I want to.
And then you're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll do what I wanted. At least now I know that that was the one that I wanted.
Oh my God, my hair is breaking so bad. Just to sideline here for a second. All of my hair, this girl bleached and damaged my hair so bad last year, and it keeps breaking. So, so I'm about to go to Jocelyn. Y'all know Joss?
Juicy Jess.
Yeah. So I saw her at the gym, and she was like, I've seen worse. I was like, well, that makes me feel better, but I'm probably
I
not.
have too.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that bad.
Well, I got this stuff called Olaplex. It's a bonding serum. Yeah.
It looks shiny. Like it doesn't look like dry and dull and brittle. Like it's
yeah. So I'm gonna use that. But then she was telling me, she's like, we're probably gonna have to cut it up. So I'm probably gonna have a little bob here soon.
Cute. You can always get extensions.
I just hair.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But something that I forgot that I wanted to start off with is it's improvement season for all of us. Do we have any updates that you guys want to share? Speaking of.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a house. Yay!
Yes.
I officially am a homeowner. So I move in very shortly. It's a beautiful home. The inspection came back and was like, the inspector was like just floored. He was so impressed with the house and how they remodeled it, and I'm just really excited because now my kids have a forever home.
That's so sweet.
I know.
I
So
love
special.
that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We
What's
are
closing date?
January the 16th or 15th.
It's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna like get rid of so much stuff. So much. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna go to like a minimalist. I'm even thinking about like downsizing my wardrobe and only having like a couple of pieces. Yeah.
That sounds scary.
It's a perfect time to do it.
I know, right? But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like just purge.
You can always
I
get more
love it.
clothes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But like, I have also pieces from like high school.
Oh yeah.
Like, I have a weird emotional attachment to clothes.
I feel like we all have an attachment to something though.
Literally clothing from high school.
Do you really? Can you still fit it? Like
Yeah.
socks? Like what is it? Like what do you
So
have?
I have a pair of jeans that I saved because I loved them growing up, and I was like, maybe my daughter would. But
Oh, okay.
when I was 16, I was thinking about stuff like that. And they're low rider. This is like Paris Hilton era.
Love it.
Was the ones with they had like the thong that was showing the back. Like,
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? That was the absolute worst.
Yes.
Like, why,
Okay, I never
so
let
cringe.
that happen. But like they're like low cut, and I don't even think that she could fit into them because
Oh,
they're
okay.
like they're just obscene. And I loved them. So funny to look back.
Have you
on.
tried to? Oh, you can't even.
There's
try
no
it.
way.
Yeah,
There's no way. I could probably
okay.
get them like over my knees.
But you know what? Like fashion all comes back in style. Like everything's coming back.
That's how
around.
That's how
so.
you know you're old.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like, okay, when I started seeing the fashion come back, I'm like, oh shit, it went full circle. I'm officially like older. Cause they think it's like the hot, they're like, oh, this is brand new. And it's
Juicy
like
couture.
yeah,
Juicy on the butt.
the velour
I'm like, it is
jumpsuit.
though. It is cute though.
It is so comfy.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
know.
just stop wearing those. I'm so glad they're back.
Me too.
Yeah.
And what about you? Updates?
The pod room.
Yes.
That's a big one. This is huge. This is
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
if you guys are listening, head over to YouTube and watch because this is yeah.
And there's still a few things that I want to get as far as upgrades, but I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was cute because the last weekend that we did like a cookie exchange, girls thing. Yeah, we did cookie exchange and like an ornament making. And then that, because it was Christmas, so we also had a holiday party, and both of the rooms that I walked into, there was somebody that said, we just listened to you, or like listen to your podcast. So it was super cute and also embarrassing. I was just like, okay,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, something that you were talking about before, like lessons, like surrounding yourself with women.
Mm-hmm.
One of my goals this year was to have more female friends. And because I self-isolated for seriously like 5 years, like I was so genuinely scared of developing connections with people that like I keep like everybody at arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
And this year I was kind of like, no, they're like, I'm missing something. And I realized it was me not being vulnerable. And so I had to like break that down and allow people to see me and trust that they were gonna take care of me. You know what I mean? Like see me for who I am and trust that like know that I'm not perfect and have no expectations, because when it comes to like being a pro and like Olympia, like a lot of people kind of glamorize you, they idealize you and they put you on this like pedestal, and it's like, no, I'm just a human that's consistent, but not in off season. Like I enjoy life in off season, but that is what really works well for me. But being surrounded by women that accept that of me and they don't make me feel bad for who I am and where you know what I mean? I don't know, just being accepted. And when I finally like kind of let go, the right people came into my life and like have stayed. So I feel like that's important, is surrounding yourself with a group of good girlfriends and not forcing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was
That's
actually
big emphasis on that.
You can't force. If you're forcing it, it's not for you.
It has to just flow and feel like, all right, yeah, this is cool. Like we just all mesh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like the other day when we did, or a couple weeks ago when we did that cookie party, it was like, yay.
Yeah.
Like the little girl in me was like, man, I've wanted this. I have been in Texas for 11 and a half years, and I have not had a solid, like, consistent group of friends this entire time. And so it's just now starting to blossom and unfold, where I feel like I could call you, which I've done before. We've talked about things. I've called you, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm able to like just trust people, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us be there.
Yeah.
For real.
I was just talking to Eli about this too, because I didn't realize how, and this is gonna sound really silly, but I didn't realize how like traumatized I was from the commercial real estate industry, because I was a vendor and I had a lot of fake friends there that didn't actually care about me, and I would always throw events and I would always do things, and people would always expect, and then it would never get, like, there was never any reciprocity. And so for years and years and years, I just felt so used and abused. And then, but I still had all these people, right? And that's whenever you can kind of think of like quantity over quality, like what actually matters. So whenever I moved to Texas, it was a complete like fresh slate. And then I was really sad, because I was just like, I went from going to all of these events, seeing at least 100 people a week, minimum, and then going to nothing other than Butter and Eli, and I work from home, so that was it. And I was extremely lonely, and like I had like my neighbors, but they're very sweet, but I never felt like they were my friends. They were more of Eli's friends, which is fine. They would be around, but I just never really saw them as my people necessarily. And it took years. I mean, until 2022. 2022 is whenever I did my competition. And then that's whenever I started putting myself first, made a couple of friends, met people at like expos that I'm so close with, and obviously met people at Summer Shredding, which I'm so close with in the NPC. And then got onto the galvanized stage, and then that's kind of like where everything kind of went from there. But now I have you guys, and it feels like and I've said this before, it's like you two and then Cass are like my people, not including Melanie and my mom and Molly, but it just feels really nice to have you guys. And it feels like you guys are actually like, obviously I like to do for a lot of people, but you guys are constantly reminding me to do for myself, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it goes both ways. And I've never had like a friend group in Texas like that. So many of my friends, because I've moved around, a lot. I've had like a lot of good, close, long distance friends, but we're like a plane ride away and everything. So it really kind of sparked once we connected, and then everything just kind of blossomed from there.
Right.
And it's just been really great for me, because we were talking about me moving like last time, and I was just like, well, I actually feel like I have people here.
Right.
Like even beyond just family, because family's always, important, it's gonna be there. But yeah, it's been a huge change for me, and that's because of you.
No.
Yeah, that's where it kind of all started.
You're like the center.
She is.
You're the hub.
Yeah. I was just like, as you were talking, I was just wondering, when was the first time you guys met? Was that at Trail of Champions event? Was that a Trail of Champions event?
It was Friday Flow, right?
Yeah.
Met in person.
Friday Flow.
Yeah, but I followed you.
Yeah.
Like I
But
knew
I'm talking
you were, but actually met in person. Yeah,
Friday Flow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was like a year.
No, it wasn't a year. No, because I was in prep.
This is like
in
June.
Yeah.
It was in the summertime.
Yeah,
June.
it was like a year.
It was June.
It was after Universe. It was sometime between June and July.
Yeah, because
It was after Adela. It was June. It was between June and
I was like a month out from my show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was before. After.
So
I saw you at another one after. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you saw her at Republic.
No, it was another flow event.
Oh yeah.
Because you
The
can't.
one right after she left. One. And she just got her oak ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one where I taught you the vacuums?
Yes, and we were sitting and talking. We were having
Yeah.
a little.
You're wearing the green.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
Me?
No, she was wearing green.
You were wearing green. Yeah, that's right. The bright.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was then.
Yeah.
So something again, because we're talking about Friday flows and we're talking about women. So I feel like that would make sense if we talked about upcoming events. First one, January 31st at the Muscle Warehouse. No, not warehouse. Yeah, warehouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Muscle Warehouse.
And
Come
then
as you are, deep in improvement season, never posed before. Welcome any and all. It's just to come out and connect with people that you wouldn't normally cross paths with. And if you do see them in the gym, you're not talking because you're in the gym. So it's just a great place to come do that.
and like you said, you guys first officially met there.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they train together and do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we do podcasts together. And then we are also going to be planning a women's workshop in March.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that one's going to be more of a
Fun.
Cool.
girls' day type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yay. Where at? Do I know yet?
Dollywood Studios in Austin, Texas.
Oh.
One of my
Fun.
faves.
Yeah.
So can I just...
What?
This made me think of... So my birthday's in March, but I'm going to be in prep. So I wanted to have a birthday party where everybody has to dress up like me.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that.
And I know that sounds super, like, narcissistic, but I just think it'd be kind of funny because you can kind of roast me.
It'd be fun. I already know what I'm wearing.
Everybody's like, what I told my one friend, she goes, I just need the chapstick.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get Burt's Bees.
But I'm going to have a housewarming party. And so that's going to be the theme.
Hell
I
yeah.
want everybody to dress up like me.
I love it.
I just
We
think
can do
it'd be
that.
so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the girls and the guys, like everybody has to dress up. And I just think it'd be hilarious.
I think that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
I just imagine Eli in like booty shorts. Or leggings, either
Yeah.
one.
That's going to be great. So,
Do we have any other updates as far as life? You haven't talked about any of your updates.
I have not. I don't feel like I have a lot of updates. So I'm still growing. I'm back to training now fully,
yay.
which is so much fun.
Good.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
And I feel like I'm having like newbie gains
Yes.
all over again. Like I'm looking like, wow, like that was just after 2 weeks.
Yes.
And you know
Yeah.
why also? Because you fucking increased your calories.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Because in recovery,
Yeah.
and okay, to be
She was
fair,
hitting 116 on her high days for carbs.
Oh my God.
during recovery, because I wasn't training.
Okay.
Like I wasn't, and I just didn't want to just
Right.
sit and just get
Sloppy.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right, once I start moving again, I always said my intention was to increase my carbs. So I
Yeah.
did that. So I'm full, I'm fed, my
Yeah.
metabolism is now
Kicking.
going. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So my body's like wanting more food. It's just like soaking everything up like a sponge
Yes.
right now.
See, and sometimes like I call it like the bow and arrow. Like you got to pull that bow back in
Yeah.
order to propel forward.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's like a really good time to like let your body recover, and then muscle memory is a real thing.
Oh, it very much so is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't lose that much strength. Not really.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think I would have ever taken this much time off had I not gone through recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
I just wouldn't
absolutely.
have done it. I would have just kept kind of like going and going and going
Mhm.
and going.
Yep.
So yeah, my body's just feeling great right now.
Ooh. So is that a lesson learned?
What?
Of we need to make sure that we're recovering and actually taking a break and reevaluating things?
I mean, I guess in hindsight,
Yeah.
I don't want to admit it 'cause I don't want to do it again. But I mean, yeah.
Recovery is a real thing.
Recovery is. I have been going so hard for so long. I don't remember the last time I actually took a legit break and gave my body a break from like everything.
Yeah.
Everything. You know. So
I just remembered another lesson learned this year.
what's up?
Speaking of recovery, but like also whenever we both had the conversation of caffeine as we're all drinking energy drinks, but it's fine. We decided to put on like a cap of how much caffeine we would have like a day.
Yep.
Because there would be days where we would have like 3 energy drinks or like a couple drinks of coffee and then also an energy drink and stuff. But I felt like that was a really good thing because then it also helped with sleep within that time.
Yeah, it helped with sleep, but it also did not help with hunger.
Yeah.
So it was like
But this
double-edged
time we can
sword.
just do like melanotan or something.
Yeah.
Well, now that I know.
Yeah.
I love melanotan.
That's what it does. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything to help with like appetite suppression at all. So I'm just like up, with my thoughts and my hunger.
Yeah.
Like, chilling.
Yeah,
not
melanotan.
sleeping. Yeah.
But to be said online, it is not for human consumption, and definitely do your own research on that.
Well, there's farm grade stuff. Like,
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was just gonna say, like that, because we
Get it through a reputable company.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get it through an actual like pharmacy.
Okay.
And talk to a doctor and make sure that it is something that you're
Okay.
doing safely with the proper like
Guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. If you're taking
Which
any
you should go with
peptides,
anything.
yes.
That you take.
Yes. Always do your
Period.
research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go
Always
through
research.
Research and reputable.
Would you guys want to learn more about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
We're open to chatting, and we have a great resource.
We have a couple great resources,
Mhm.
and I actually talked to Dawn. So Dawn with Renew Wellness and New Era Cynthia, and we were thinking of either maybe doing a panel or separate pods, just depending on what they decide is best for them. So you talked about your updates. As far as mine goes, I'm on a mini cut
Nice.
as of like yesterday.
Cool.
How long are you gonna do it for? Or do
Uh,
you have a certain goal in mind that you're gonna cut until, and then you're gonna get
yeah,
back to it?
yeah. Well, it's kind of sorta. So like I know I'm gonna be in a somewhat improvement phase up until May because of Morales.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that I'm getting like the most and like recomping that is going to actually stick. I want to make sure that my calories are increased. So we're going to do like mini cut growth.
So it's like a body recomp.
Yeah, body recomp.
I think that's like honestly one of the best ways to learn your body.
Yeah.
It is.
It's overwhelming at first when you have like the basics, like the fundamentals. You can do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, like I'm a coach, right? And I have a coach. But for me, like whenever I get deep into prep, like I don't see what I look like anymore. It's prep goggles. Like I'm only seeing where I can improve. And then you have somebody on the outside to kind of like ground you, like, no, like you're doing good, or
Okay,
to push
yeah.
you or whatever, to kind of just give you a clear perspective. But that's, looking back at like my history, like some of my most fun times is when I would do my own bulk cut.
Mhm.
And that's how like I learned a lot. And not only for myself, but like how to like coach other people too.
Yeah.
So it's a really good thing to do.
Yeah, sharpens you. I've been self-coaching since October, and I'm heavily considering coaching myself.
You can do it.
I know, but the problem with me is I just worry when I get to that point that you're talking about, when I'm like deep into it, like deep into the prep and the shit, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I'm this, I'm that. Like, I know I can second guess myself, and I'm just like, without that other outside, and like I know the things to do.
Yeah.
I just don't know when I get to that point how I will respond.
See, okay, so like I talked to my dad, and my dad's like, Jen, you know what to do. You know how to do it. You can coach yourself, do it. Create a name for yourself. Like you did it on your own. And I'm like, Dad, it's really peak week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hate peak week. It gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah. And then like
oh my
knowing
gosh,
how much carbs and like what you look like, and it's like I don't have that ability.
You can do a mock peak, test it out.
Yeah.
I could.
And I kind of like do it that way, and then kind of like gather data.
Yeah.
Because you'd be ready early. You're not gonna wait until the last minute.
No.
Yeah.
To be there.
But at this point, I was like,
You don't want to.
No,
Yeah, I get it.
No, because it's too much to gamble. But I do. Who was that bodybuilder? Was it Ian Valere? I can't remember what big name bodybuilder. He was working with somebody, and he ended up. No, it was the guy from UK. He ended up coaching himself, and he was like, I want it all on me. He's like,
Lewis?
I can't remember.
Last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
like this year, like this current, like
no,
last 2024.
Yeah, in 2023. 2023. He got rid of his coach, and he was like, it's nothing personal.
Regan Grimes?
No. He was like, I just want to do it on my own and see what kind of response I get, because he wanted to absorb 100% responsibility, which I could respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and be in control of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of it.
We'll think about it when
but
this finishes there.
What I was gonna say is the nice thing with all of us is that we have so many resources and people in our corners that we could ask for opinions. And that was a conversation you and I had. It was like okay, I trust you to do it, but you're not doing it alone. And you need to remember that. And you need to actually listen whenever we're saying, yo, you're getting way too conditioned, like, or whatever.
Pull back
Yeah, pull
bit.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But put those people in your corner, like make it a small corner.
Yeah.
Because too many opinions can get to your head.
Yeah.
Too many cooks in the kitchen will mess up any dish. Oh my!
That's another lesson learned. That's another lesson learned.
Okay, can we get into that now?
Yeah. Well, we'll go into it in depth, but we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Because having too many cooks in the kitchen, if you are new bodybuilder, old bodybuilder, whatever, if you have nutrition and a posing or two posing coaches and regular coach and what
Going on YouTube,
yeah,
seeing other women online, this is the movements they're doing.
Yeah, if you are taking in all of these different opinions from experts, they could all be experts in their own rights. That's fine. But you are not going to be able to hold on to the all of that information. You are not going to be able to execute all of that information the same. And also you're devaluing your coach, like your main coach's opinion. And what is that really saying? It's saying that you don't trust them. So you're going out to all of these other people.
Which is nothing wrong with wanting to educate yourself. Like, I
Mhm.
think it's really important to understand what's going on, and it's a lot of information out there, which is great. But there has to become a level of like, okay, if you are going to have multiple people, everyone needs to be in sync and working together. And you can't have too many, you can't just be adding in people because, oh, this person said this I don't like. Okay, let me go ask them and see if I get a different answer that I like better. Like, that's not how you need to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super important. Because I think like your whole coach, when you develop that relationship, it's built on trust and honesty. Like, whenever I talk to my clients, it's like, this is a trust and honesty thing. Like, if you're secretly eating cookies at the end of the night and you're not telling me, you're not being honest with me, and then I can't do my job. So it's like, I'm never going to food shame you or anything like that. But it's like, hey, let me know what's going on. Like, I don't need to be your best friend. That's not my job. But if you have some emotional things going on in your life and you need to talk about it, let's have a conversation so I know where you're at mentally. If you're
important.
Like if you're a food eater, when you become emotional and you're going through something with family or a death or grief or whatever, like clue me in so I know where you're at, so I know how to move. Because some people, it's a lot of psychology.
Absolutely.
Being a coach is a lot, being a personal trainer, it's personal. And so it's
Very.
like, some people need that. Like, I just interviewed a client and I'm taking her on, and at the end of the conversation she's like, are you a shit talker? And I was like, I can be. And she was like, can you please? Because I don't respond well to softness. She's like, she wants me to like,
and you got to know that.
and I was like, I appreciate you telling me that. She's like, I'm gonna be coming in early morning, and she's like, I already know I'm not gonna be there. And I said, all right, you got it. I won't let you cry about it. Like, or you can cry, but you can't quit.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, next step.
So yeah, so it's good to like know yourself so that you're able to be honest with your coaches. Like, if you're not being honest with yourself, like admitting like, hey, I like to eat my cookies at the end of the night, or I gotta, I really like my Hershey's Kisses or whatever, the case may be. Like, if you're not being honest with yourself about that, like saying like, this is a problem I have, I need to tell my coach about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no shame in it.
And because your coach can help you.
Yeah.
Like, in ways that you probably don't even know that you can be helped, but you're not allowing them the opportunity to do that because you want to keep that closed off because you're ashamed of it, right?
Yep.
But your coach is literally there to help you through your shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it's a good coach.
If it's a good coach.
Because there are some not so nice coaches that will shame you. And if
that's horrendous.
If you do find yourself in that situation, you may want to reevaluate, or if you have any questions, then feel free to ask us. But I know a lot of people that have been shamed and that just have been on the bad side of like being guilted even more. So just know it's not normal.
No,
No,
no.
it's not.
Your coach should call you out if you're making excuses. Like 1000%, their job is to do their job to get you unstuck and out of your way.
Yep.
But to the point where you feel shame,
No.
no.
But sometimes, I will say this, sometimes you need to feel that shame. Like, I think we need to normalize feeling shame in certain regards, not all the time, but it's like, if you can be honest and be like, man, I am ashamed. I like to hide, those cookies at the end of the night, and I like to get them in. Like, feel that shame so that you feel it to a point where you're taking accountability, owning it, so that you can get over it.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But at that point, it's self-inflicted. It's not like because the coach said, you're a piece of this, you shouldn't do that. Like, it's not from that. So yeah, 1000%.
Yeah. So it's, like like as a coach, like I've had clients come to me, they're like, I did this and this, and I was like, okay, let's move forward. Like, let's just, you recognize that this is an issue. Like, let's figure out how we're going to move past it next time. Like, what do we need to do mentally when that urge comes up? To grab that cookie. Like, what are we going to do? And so we figure out ways to like get around it. But, sometimes, we need that shame in any regard, because you feel that guilt, and it's like, man. And then it's like, you didn't honor yourself. You kind of betrayed yourself. You know what I mean? I know we're just talking about a cookie, but like it can
But it's
go
bigger than a cookie.
Yeah, but it's bigger than.
It's so sometimes it's good to hold yourself accountable in that regard, but don't beat you have to figure out where that line is.
Yeah.
Own it. Don't live in the shame.
Don't,
Yeah.
Don't sit there and stick on it, because then what are you gonna do? You're probably gonna spiral and go for 3 cookies after that.
Yeah.
Or the whole pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to find that line, and that's a tough balance. So be graceful with yourself.
I think another big lesson learned of 2024 is asking for help. And learning to ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which it could be in the case of asking your coach for help, but like, hey, like I'm dealing with this emotional eating, blah blah blah. Or it could be like, hey, bestie, I just need your help. I just need to like talk through some shit. I need to whatever. Or it could be
at the gym when I was trying to unrack the 110-pound dumbbells, and the giant, I call him the giant, he's huge in the gym. I was like, can you please help me?
Yeah. Those 100-pound fucking plates scare the shit out of me.
Oh, those 100, yes.
Like, I could use them. I do not want to move them.
Yes. The idea of them falling on your toes.
Yes. Or a finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I had a horrendous experience with a plate like that when I was training in Seattle. And it literally broke my nail in half. Blood was everywhere. I had to stop my session. I'm like, I'll be back. I'm sorry. And it was a shit show.
Yeah.
I don't.
Those hundos are very.
Yeah. No,
I don't like them.
Made for men.
I'll just stack
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been
another way.
I've been doing because we're not allowed to lift over 35. Well, I'm not allowed to lift over like 30 pounds right now. So I've been doing 25s and then just stacking them on like on the machines. Like, okay, I just keep walking back and forth.
Get your steps in.
Yeah. The next episode, we are going to talk about how to get unstuck to essentially bring in the best year. So on that note, we're going to end the episode wishing you guys all a happy new year. And don't forget to follow us, like and subscribe.
The Muscle Mommy.
And at Brit Inez Rand.
Vannesa at That Girl Squats, or at trail.of.champions. And until next time, we'll see you next time.